Hey, this is Jennifer, and today I'm going to take you through how to set up a profile in First Hold. So once you've signed up, you'll be taken to this screen here. This is your main dashboard screen. Um, this is where you're going to add a venue. You can add multiple venues in this location. Each venue, you can have up to 10 event spaces. So if you manage multiple venues, you want to add them all to your First Hold profile, that's no problem. Just keeping in mind that you can also, within each venue, you can have up to 10 event spaces. Let's get started. So you want to click Add Venue. You want to put the name of the venue. I'm going to use Fox Theater as my example today. You want to give it um, a venue type, and then you also want to give it a 4-letter venue code. This is just for internal purposes. Add the address. State. And so I'm going to pause here for a quick second while we're adding airport. This is going to be a international, regional, closest airport to the venue. This is going to help us to identify a region that you may be in that may be not just the city name. So you can find the closest airport to your venue. That would be perfect. Here we're going to add in name and if your main profile, when you set it up, the main contact is the same as the contact for this particular venue. If you have multiple venues, you can also click here to add that same contact information. The other thing that you want to do in this screen is that you want to add a photo here. You can mouse over it to upload photo. This is going to give you a more personal sales experience for your planners. And so it's easy to do. You just want to add the photo and crop it so you make sure and have your photo in your profile. And then the last step in this part of the process, you can see the bar across the top here, is to add a photo of the venue. This is going to be the most important venue photo that you add. This is going to be the main profile photo. So it can be an exterior photo, it can be an interior photo, but just select something that's dynamic, that's going to catch people's attention and get them investigating further about your venue. You can zoom, rotate, crop how you'd like, and then select crop. You do need to make sure in all photos within First Hold that you have the copyrights from the photographer to use those photos. So you do need to check that box there. If you have any questions on our copyright policy, just select copyright there, and it'll take you to our copyright policy. The next step you want to do is add your venue description. This is going to be something that you maybe pull from your website. It might be something that you pull from some PDFs, but just something that speaks about your venue. You have 1,500 characters to describe your venue. And that is it. We have set up our initial venue profile. So within First Hold, you will submit your venue for approval, and our admin team will take 24 hours to review your profile and then approve it. So just make sure that it's set up and complete before submitting for approval. So the next step you want to do is customize your venue profile. Here you can see your photo's been added, your description. If you want to add more photos, you can. You can have a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 15 photos. Edit photo here. There is a size requirement of a maximum of 3 meg photos. If you want to edit your profile or any of the information you've just added, you click Edit Profile. The next step you want to go to is adding amenities. Excellent customer service, maybe you have a preferred venue list, ADA compliant, just go through and check all that apply. Maybe you have social distancing suggestions, nonprofit discounts are available, etc. The next one is going to be complimentary, what you offer complimentary. Maybe you have heating and air conditioning and Wi-Fi. And then the next one is going to be food and beverage. How do you handle your food and beverage? Every venue is so different in how they handle it. For the purpose of this, I'm going to say bring your favorite caterer and in-house bar. But please just read through all the different options that may apply. Parking, same as food and beverage. Maybe there's different scenarios. So we've listed a variety of different scenarios here. Paid parking nearby, maybe free street parking, large vehicle parking, and public transportation nearby. Just select all that apply. Restrictions. Some venues are not permitted to do weddings or political fundraisers. Others maybe don't allow guests that are under the age of 21, bars, for example. And some venues don't do youth events where the majority of the guest is under the age of 21, like a prom. So just go through any that are restrictions that you have on your venue here and select all that apply. I'll just say no smoking for right now. I'm going to go back up to the top here. On the right here, it says, tell us the 5 things you like most about your venue. Think the things that when you're doing a site inspection with a client and you are bragging about your chandeliers or your natural light or whatever that might be. Go ahead and add those items in here. We've embedded a few ideas, but please get creative in what is really of interest to your space. Maybe you have, yeah, beautiful, like I said, chandeliers, or you're near the convention center, or you have exposed brick, etc. So again, these are just examples, but please embed the 5. There is a character limit here. We want this to be something quick, short, 1, 2, 3 words. I think there's a 25 character limit. So just think of something that's quick that kind of gets, again, people's attention. First hold is complete transparency. We want to make sure they have all the information they need about your venue. So we want you to add PDFs. We want you to add pricing, or we want you to add menus or terms and conditions, floor plans, etc. Add any information that you have to help planners to understand your space better. Okay, now we have set up the main venue profile here. Now what we want to do is we want to add an event space. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you can have a maximum of 10 event spaces. So you just click Add Space. That will save all of that information that we've already added and take you to the next screen. So this here is going to be your first event space. Ballroom 1. Here we're going to add in your capacities. So go through, you can see there's a COVID update here. When it says ample space per guest, that is what you should use that reflects your social distancing. So for sit down, you have 100 for ample space, and when the space is full, you have 200. Maybe classroom style seating, same scenario. Oh, what did I do there? And let's do theater seating. I'm gonna behind my picture here. All right, but fill out all of the ones that apply to you. Okay, and then next. Okay, so this is the next 2 in our bar across the top here are going to be the most critical. I would hazard to say the most complicated, but they're really not complicated. It takes some thought to make sure that we get this done correctly. So there are 2 options. So this right here is going to be your rental. Do you offer fixed rental or flexible rental? So there's 2 different options. Planners can only book this space for specific time slot. That's fixed rental. Planners can book this space for any hours within a certain window. That's flexible rental. That's still a little confusing. So what we did was we added in a question mark. Fixed rental is your venue has specific time slots. Example, we rent from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily, or we rent from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. However you do it, but you have set time blocks of space that you offer. The next one is flexible rental. So you can click on the little question mark. Your venue has flexible time slots. Example, we rent based on a time frame, i.e. a 4-hour minimum, but flexible on the actual time. So maybe it's a 4-hour minimum, a 3-hour minimum, whatever that might be, but you're actually flexible on the actual times. You just based on a minimum. So you do want to select one of these. I'm going to select flexible for the purpose of this demonstration. Okay, so do you allow more than one event in this space per day? Yes, I allow more than one event per day, or no, I only allow one event. Select what is appropriate. I'm going to say more than one event per day. Pricing based on a certain number of minimum hours. So let's say 3-hour minimum. And let's say the event could start at, you can see here, earliest time a planner can get in and the latest time they can leave. So 6 a.m. would be the earliest. Let's say, I don't know, midnight is the latest. Okay. Now I want to stop. Oh, and how much time do you need between events? Let's just say we can do it super quick and do an hour turn. Maybe it's a 2-hour turn. Maybe 2 hours. How about we do that? Okay, give us a break. Now maybe you offer a 4 or 5-hour minimum on Saturdays and Sundays because of weddings, but on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you're a little bit more flexible. So how do we want to handle that? So, okay, so then what here we want to do is say this applies to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Then we add a time slot and we say, what is our minimum on the weekends? Well, maybe we have a 6-hour minimum on the weekends because we do a lot of weddings. And again, planners can get in between 6, can have their venue between 6 and midnight. And this will be on Saturday and Sunday. Okay. And here we again need 2 hours between each event. So that's how you want to do that. You want to think about this when you're setting it up as how you charge for your space. Whether you picked fixed rental or flexible rental, you want to think about how you charge your venue rental because that's going to also connect with this. All right. Next screen. Here, how you charge. What types of events can be held here? Business events, social events, and weddings. You can have all three. You can have restrictions and can't do weddings. You want to check all the boxes that apply. I will tell you right now, this part is a little bit monotonous, but it's not hard. It's repetitive when you're setting it up for the first time. Business events. So click on business events. I can do that. I can do social events, and I can do weddings. So, all right. The reason I didn't check weddings there. Go back up. All right, business events. Now you collect here. How do you charge? Venue rental, food and beverage minimum only, venue rental and food and beverage minimum, or per person. Okay, so you can put food and beverage minimum here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do venue rental and food and beverage minimum. So my venue rental is on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is $5,000, and we have a $10,000 food and beverage minimum. Additional required services, this is optional, but maybe you charge for security or something. I think you can have up to 3 different additional charges. This is just, again, to give the planner, the idea of how much this is going to cost to make sure that you and they are a good fit together. Venue rental, food and beverage minimum, and this is the monotonous part. Maybe on the weekends, because again, you want to see here now, this is Friday, Saturday. Keeping in mind business event. These are both for business events. And maybe on Friday and Saturday, we charge $7,000 with a $10,000 food and beverage minimum. And still security. And it's now we're moving on to social event. You can charge different rates for corporate events than social events. The planner will not see that information. So if you charge a little bit different price for fundraisers than you do for corporate events, then again, select the one that applies and put in the amount. Okay, I'm going to skip the additional services required. I think you understand how that works. And 7,000 and minimum is 5,000. Okay. And then weddings, same thing. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes venues will charge a little bit more for a wedding because they take up a bigger time block or they can be a little bit more time consuming. So if you do that, then that's fine. Just go ahead and put all of, maybe for weddings, you charge a day of coordinator that is a required fee. So let's add that in there. And last but not least, again, keeping in mind, this up here is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This down here is Thursday, Friday. So whatever the venue rental might be. And day of coordinator. That's it. So you can see here, you've got your weddings, you've got your social events, and you've got your business events. Save and exit. Okay, looking good. Thank you for taking the time to complete your space profile. You can review the space profile and edit the details and features by clicking Customize Space Profile. Keep in mind the space within this venue will still be under review until the venue is officially approved. Okay, so now what we want to do is add photos to this event space. So let's click here. Again, we need to have the copyrights before we can add photos. Let me add photos. Let's just add in some photos here. It's important to remember the photos do have a 3 meg limit. You can still have some pretty amazing photos with 3 megs. See here, open and crop. Okay, I've added in 3 photos. You can add up to 15. If you need to edit them, you have your editing buttons here on the right. Click done. We're going to add a description here. Let's see if it'll allow me to just paste what I had earlier. It does. You do want to add a description. I'm doing for the purpose of this demonstration the same description as what I use for the main venue, but please use a different description. Use a description that describes Ballroom 1. You can see here it's put our arrangements in here. Other information you might have. Your venue might be on the second floor, length, width, area, etc. You can add all those features. Okay. And again, if you have PDFs that are specific to this event space, then go ahead and add those there. Okay. We're going to come back in and sync Google Calendar. I want to kind of take you out and show you just real quick what this looks like here. So there you go. You can see you have your venue and you have your ballroom. If you need to add more spaces, it says add space here. Maybe you have ballroom 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Add multiple spaces. If you need to add another venue, you can click add venue. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm going to go back into this particular profile so that we can go ahead and sync our calendar. That is one of the coolest features of First Hold, is we have integrated with Google Calendar. So what you'll need to do is you're going to need to add a Chrome extension. You can see it in the upper right corner. I've added it to my screen already. It's very easy to do. And this is going to allow you to sync with Google Calendar. So you want to go in here. So there's 2 different ways that you can edit your calendar. This is what the calendar that the venue sees. Excuse me. This is the calendar that the planner sees. So when you want to go ahead and make edits to that, you can sync your Google Calendar. You can edit calendar. I'm going to do sync Google Calendar first. This is going to allow First Hold to go into your Google Calendar and find the holds that you have existing. This is perfect feature for when you are first getting to know First Hold and adding First Hold to your sales process. And find the one that applies. It says I have different Google Calendar for each of my venues, or I have one Google Calendar in which I manage one or more venues, whichever applies. And go here, you see it populates with Ballroom 1. We've added that. Now you go here to info at First Hold, and then you click next. It's searching through and finding the holds, entries that you have in your calendar. Then you want to go through each one of these and you want to give them a hold status. So if there's something where you have a first hold, or something where you have a third hold, or maybe something where you have, scroll down here, where you have something that has been booked, et cetera, et cetera. You can go through your entire calendar. If there's something that has repeat instances, then you can go through. Now, this is where you're going to go through and check all of those for this first initial install. And they are going to add to your calendar. So just check the boxes that apply for what you already have existing in your calendar. Then what you're going to do is you're going to edit your calendar this way. So once you've had updated with the sync, you can go in at any time and edit your calendar. There's 2 ways to do that. One is edit calendar here. The other one is up here. You can see the little calendar icon. Both will take you to the same place, and that is Google Calendar. So you can add Google Calendar entries. And when you go into Google Calendar, whether you go in individually or you come through First Hold, what will happen is you have an entry like this. You say, okay, and then you want to add a First Hold status. So make sure and obviously update it in your calendar, the time. Um, where it says add first hold, you want to give it a first hold status. So it's either hold, book, or block. Block would be something where maybe you're doing carpet cleaning or you're window cleaning or something like that, and you're blocking off the space. Book is obvious, and hold. So here you want to fill in all of the information for this hold, the venue name, event space, sales rep, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and place hold. That will allow you to place a hold on that particular date. Okay, what have we done? We've sunk our calendar and we have completed our profile. All right, now we are here. And the next thing that you're going to want to do is review your profile for accuracy. Make sure everything looks, you're happy with everything in the way that it looks. And then you want to click Finish and Submit. Finish and Submit is going to submit your venue to First Hold for approval. Go. And you'll see waiting for approval. You'll receive an email notification when your venue has been approved. And once it's been approved, you'll go in, again, do a second double check. And then in the upper right corner, you're going to see a button that says Publish. Your venue is not live until you publish. You can edit your venue after it's been approved or even after it's live. But that you want to make sure once you've been approved to go through and select publish once you're ready. There's one or two other features I want to point out to you real quick. One is here, your hold settings. This right here will allow you to control your hold duration. So if somebody places a hold on your space and you want that hold duration to be for a certain number of days, the default is 14, then what will happen is First Hold will generate some emails to that planner to let them know that their hold is expiring and to reach out to you and connect with you about booking the space. There is also a maximum hold limit. So how many holds do you want per day? I want 4 holds. I only want 3. I only want 2. Or I'll take up to 7 holds a day. I want as many holds as possible. So you can control those. And then your holds and booking screen over here. So this is where everything that you added to your calendar sits. So you can make edits, you can see how they are booked, you can release, you can look at details of the holds. So you have your holds, booking, and follows. So that brings up a question of what is a follow? A follow is a new feature that First Hold has added that allows a planner to just observe a date without actually placing a hold on it. Maybe they're a little gun shy to place a hold, but they want to follow the date and see if anybody else is booking the date. That's an opportunity for them to just take a look at it and see if that date is still available. And then and it kind of keeps you in contact with them as well versus that planner just going away and looking at another venue. Okay, that is how we set up your profile. If you have any questions, we are always available for you. You can reach out to us at hello@first-hold.com. And thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.